So, I kind of want to record this again in this space of healing. There's some carcinogens around me, and so hopefully this can be built for a healing space. And so the next thing is that I talked about, I think, the dance picture that wasn't updated for any other ages beyond the age of 3 at his grandparents' home, the only one that I ever met. So, I really wish that my mom had had her parents and my father's parents, but like I said, he doesn't really have a dad. And this is kind of before the time of single parents with black Americans in the United States. This phenomenon, there's a reason for it, as I've said, and I can't really share it. I don't know when I'll be able to or if I'll be able to. Some things are so personal that it's just kind of like so personal and so connected to so many people. I think that's even the bigger thing. So, but I do want to say that because it's a reason. But basically, what I'm saying is that it was just funny that the age I had was 3, not 12, not 16, not 20, no progression in years, but just a single picture. That's just so weird. Um, and the next thing is that when I was talking on the phone with this grandparent, because I still have the desire to connect and figure things out. And so, some of the call was okay. I did open up to them about my abuse experience, and, you know, I could say more, but I don't know if I want to share all the details of the call. I mean, I had been supported more or less, but, I'm sure they still talk to my dad, because he's still their family. So again, scapegoat. Okay, my gender really fucks me up. But what I'm gonna say is that in the call, there were some things that were said that were good about my mom, who had died and passed away. But I actually never got any types of condolences or anything. Nothing said to reference the hurt that I had felt and experienced from any of these relatives. I think maybe one. And I don't want to start anything. I just want to say, though, what I have to bring this out because that's not okay. It's not okay to say on the phone. Also, in the midst of the kind things you'd said, that you'd also said that you don't like my mom, didn't like my mom. Who says that to the person that their mother? Now, I get it, maybe, in talking about my dad being abusive towards me, maybe that's, something I shouldn't say either. And that's how those systems can work sometimes when you have family systems that have unhealthy things within them, which is so many people, just a lot of people just don't really open up or feel ashamed or, whatever, what have you, not whatever. Um, but, yeah, you shouldn't really say that you don't like my mom. I didn't say I don't like my dad. I still actually love my dad. I said that this is the harm that was done to me. It's not even nuance. It's just when just the empathy that should exist. Okay. Okay. So that actually it took me some time to see that actually wasn't okay. I was just listening, but this is the thing. I'm taking in on all these different things that's not okay, that are not okay. Okay, the next thing is that people that I'm related to, they still talk to my father. I have an African American uncle that still talks to my father, who is his brother. Then I have a Nigerian uncle who still talks to my father because my father, was the first in his family to go to college, and my mom has an educated family that came to the United States as a result of the Immigration Act of 1965. Um, you know, that's where the marginalization comes from. This two different cultures that contribute to my oppression. That with somebody that has an identity such as mine, or my mother who has her identity in another country such as hers, or even in her country of origin. The idea of a scapegoat is very simple when you have aspects of a person that are new or invisible in certain contexts. And that's exactly what my mother specifically, because with my father, he'll have the the story of people knowing what the story is of a Black American male. That's a very well known concept. Conceptually, we all know what's happening, and regionally, in the South or in the North, it's known. But my mom's isn't known, mine isn't known. So there's different systems at play that allow for our invisibility and harm to come our way. And that can be from anyone, because anyone that has a, an identity that has a presence already. And neither of ours really within this Western context. Or no, maybe not Western even, like global context. Um, yeah, it has an existence. So even talking about these things feels like sinful and bad. Okay? Alright, so I still talk to my dad because they are subconsciously trying to continue to oppress me and let me know that I am the ninja girl that needs to know her place. And that goes with my grandmother too. I'm sure she still talks to her son. She didn't confront him for me if she, let me know that she didn't like my mom. At least that's my guess. All right, so the next thing is writing. I had the same uncle that still talks to my dad let me know that how good of a writer I was. Okay, you know, I have a curious disposition, so I like the arts and the humanities, and I also like STEM. I just like learning. Okay, he didn't know that I did calculus honors or biology honors or physics honors or what's the other one? Chemistry honors. You know, that I came to college with 18 credits from my AP scores. You know, that I graduated magna cum laude. That the scholarship that I had, if you followed the STEM path, then they would take care of your finances up until PhD level. This relative knows nothing about me relative to this. And they just say something, oh, like decade plus later, oh, you're good at writing. Honestly, what the fuck is that? This is an example of scapegoat energy. You don't know anything about a person, yet you just make some errant comment or remark. It just. I'm glad I'm saying this here because I would like this to transform. It's the harm that I have had to ingest, not knowingly ingest, but I've been ingesting it like CFCs, like spiritual pollution, genetic pollution, ancestral pollution, this messaging, these spells. Again, I just get so angry.